Alrighty, welcome back. It's Fun Day Sunday. I've been looking at this. Jim was in the other day. I think he really enjoyed what's going on. He said it inspired him. That made me very happy that it inspired him, just to have something being done and you being happy about it made him happy, which made me happy. And that's how I know it feels better to give than receive. And I'll tell you why I know. Because I was aware of his feelings and I was aware of my feelings when he was happy. And generally, all you have to do is be aware of that sort of stuff. And it's easy to figure out, To me, it is. I'm aware. If you're not aware, you miss a lot of things. And it's, there's a lot of things to learn when you're aware, when you're really just pay attention to your feelings. You actually, if you're not aware, you would never know when you're happy. If you're aware when you're happy, when you become happy, be aware of it, and then you would know exactly, sort of, what makes you happy, and then you could stay on that path, right? Then you could just put yourself on that path and keep on cruising, because you know. Anyways, I don't know why I'm blabbering like that first thing this morning, right? Wow. Anyways, I was happy. What I'm saying is I was happy to make Jim happy. Anyways, I'm going to start that over. Let's start over. Yes, I can't do. Come on, talking like that first thing. All right, let's get going. We show the real. We show the real. I just felt silly for talking like that first thing this morning. I am happy, and we're going to do a little bit of stuff on Jim's car for Sunday Fun Day. What's going on this side? You should go around the other side, baby, then I can explain. I can explain too much sometimes. That's the problem. I can explain too much sometimes. That's the problem. What we got going on here, we've squared it up with square tubing. What we've done is we've taken one point and went to another point, welded the square tubing on, and then brang the metal to it. Exact same thing up the front. We ran the straight line with the sill on this side. We've made a new cross member with a mount here, new cross member with a mount here. We still have the seat mounts to deal with. You can see them right there. We got the back covered in. It's funny, I did that back. And I was playing with this, I think, on the last, we were showing the camera. Jolene shut it off, and I got, messing around a little bit. I made another little piece of cardboard, laid it in there. And didn't I, lo and behold, tack that in there before I put the inside sill on. And I had to lay on my back. I could have slapped myself in the face for, I talked about it, and then done it. But anyways, as I did that, I just continued on and made this one before I messed up again. And this is the inside sill. So this is the top of the sill. Then this outside sill runs down and connects onto the bottom of it. Wherever it connects is great. You spot weld it on or weld it on, whatever way you want to do it. And then you just trim the rest off. I like to leave a little length on that so you have something to trim off. When you were channeling a car, you can leave a foot or two on it because you don't know how far you want to channel it down on. Like when you set your body on, this would be my skeleton here. Then I'd be setting the body on. I could set it down, as far as I wanted to, as long as the inside sill was long enough. If you know what I'm saying. It's Sunday Fun Day. What I'm going to do right now, I want to try to finish this side up. What I mean by that is I'm going to cut the holes for the mounts. I'm going to cut the boat roller to put in there. I'm going to run a seat cross member. I'm going to run another seat cross member. Jim told me where the seat bolted down, where it looks like it bolts down, so I'm going to just mock where it is and put a piece of plate across here so we can bolt his seat down. And then we'll carry on and we'll take some cardboard and we'll make the floor panels how we're going to make them. We will not bead roll them today, probably not. We'll probably get a little help from Jim maybe. And we'll go from there. So right now I'm going to plasma cut the holes here and put this in. When I was doing this, someone was talking why am I not using the plasma cutter? And I wasn't using the plasma cutter because the square tube, when you try to cut square tubing with a plasma cutter, it don't go good. Like you really have to cut four sides. You can't just cut through it. You have to cut four sides. You end up leaving a jagged edge. Once I get going with one tool cutting everything, it just seems like that's the tool to go to. When I had a hard time in a couple places, and I just used the plasma cutter if I have to. But other than that, yeah, I basically just get onto a tool and then start with it. The square tubing is easy to cut with a zip cut, and I just stick with it, I guess. I could have went to a different tool and cut this plate off and maybe cut some of the floor out, but I really don't want to haggle the edges up so I have to clean anything. Here we go. I'm going to hook the plasma cutter up. Here we go. There's my knee pads. We'll hook the plasma cutter up. I'll put the air on. We'll put some holes in that, and I'll show you exactly how I cut the bolt roller. Whoop, whoop. My baby looks good today. She woke up at 10. She did so. She woke up at 10. And how do I know this? Because I saw her. No, I seen her. I think I put the air on already. Plasma cutter's right here. Just backing you up slowly, sweetheart. It's always nice when, I know sometimes I don't put the tools away because I feel like I'm coming right back in. I'm going right in the back same spot, and I'm going to use the exact same stuff. And I call that the repeat day. We cleaned up a little bit yesterday. Me and Jolene cleaned up a little bit, which is good. We had a visit from a friend named Danny. We had a visit from him yesterday. That was good. Had a few hot dogs on the barbecue. That was good. So, life is good. Life is good, man. It's Sunday fun day. If you work every day and you only get to work on your project on weekends, I hope you get lots done. I hope I inspire you. And if I do, that makes me happy. Made me happy yesterday when Jim was inspired. Alrighty. All I'm going to do is I'm not making anything complicated here. Nothing complicated, please. No. Complication hurts my brain. We're just going to plasma cut a hole in this. All I'm doing. I'm not sure how I want to put the bolt. I can put the bolt down through and weld the top of it and then nut it from the bottom. I can do that. Or I can put a hole in the floor pan. I can do that. I doubt that he'll ever be going and taking this body off or going anywhere near like that, but who knows. Who knows? So we got a hole. The reason I left it to put the hole when we put it down in, that way there I didn't have to measure it or anything like that. I could just eye it up and do it. The poopy part is, no, not the poopy part. I guess the only part is, though, I have to clean it up with the die grinder. I would have had to clean it up if I had to cut the hole in it first, but it does not matter. So that's why I just did it this way. Let's cut this in here. Knock off any slag underneath. Make a nice hole. Beautiful. Beautiful. Awesome. There's the holes. Got them put in. I'm going to measure a piece of roller for that. That fell underneath here, did it? It was right here. I know it was. There it is. Piece of roller. I'm going to measure a piece of roller for that. When you cut this, you want to run your blade through really slow because it'll veer off on you. Also, it'll grab on you, so just let the blade do the work. I've had it almost hurt me. You can if you want to, if you don't take your time. But I was aware what it did, so I backed off. Tape measure. I had a tape measure. I did so. Try to leave it all in the same spot, didn't I? Got a tape measure over here. I'm just going to grab a tape measure and just measure the length. The forward fender's pretty well done. I just put a little tiny piece, some tiny filler on some pinholes, and then off she goes. Put a little seam sealer on her, off she goes. I apologize for the time it took to the guy for that, but you know, I generally work where my brain's at. I was going to go get the dog, but I don't think she needs anything. Let me measure that. I'm going to cut it 1.5. It's up there on the square tube a little bit, but I'm going to allow for it to, I'll put that one in first. We'll do a 1.5, and we'll squish it in there. 1.5. Don't know if I'll be able to see this on that roller or not. Could run some tape on it. Yeah, I can see that, I guess. Pretty good, not bad. Jim was talking to us after he left. He was talking about the door gaps on this car. On this car, the door gaps are where they're at. We sort of have to remember that the roof is still connected. The roof's still connected. Just try to get that door gap opened up a little bit. Could be done maybe with the mount on the floor. But where we put the floor in, we've only went with what it is. We can't pull that apart to open the door up to make a thing. There's a lot of cars that the doors don't fit. They hit there, they're really close. To pull a car apart, or to, like when the roof's on it, like to pull a car apart to mess up the line, hard to do. If someone wanted to fix something like that, it's in your body mounts. If you can't get it in your body mounts, I would come down here and zip cut the door edge, tap it back, and weld it back together. Put the door on the best, fit it best you can, and fill the quarter panel to the door. That's basically how I gap cars. It's either the mount, or you split the quarter panel. Do not do anything to the door. Just come down the quarter panel with a piece of tape, split it with a zip cut, and just tap it back with a hammer, and weld it back on the edge again, and then grind it off. That's basically it. I lost myself here. I need a chop saw. So, I'll get some boat roller there too. You have to be careful with this stuff. And I repeat that. You have to be careful with the boat roller because it is rubber and it will catch. It will. Da, 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 da. It's Sunday. We like the old, the one-time film, don't we? We don't like messing up too much, do we? Carry on, she says, carry on. All right, here we go. All righty, we got our 1.5. I'm going to do that again. The reason I'm going to do that again, because I want to know what side the line cut on. We got 1/8 of an inch on saw blade. 1/8 of an inch just in saw blade. I'll put it where I want it. And here we go, nice and slowly. Beautiful, hole in it and everything. Nice and round. You could do most anything, you know, mount anything. And there's bigger and smaller. That's not the only one size they have. Now I've made this too big. Made this too big for a reason, because I think we're going to get a little bit of. Made it too big for a reason. A little bit of squash down. I'm going to have to get something to pry it up. See, there's some bigger stuff there. hole in it, bigger hole. I need a pry bar. I tried to look for my pry bar yesterday. I didn't have much luck. Didn't have much luck yesterday, I didn't. Not much luck. Should pry her up maybe, I'm not sure. I got so many. Yeah, probably a screwdriver would be best, I guess. If I had a little pry bar, I could pry that up and shove that in, but haven't got that. That's what I wasn't thinking of. I need a pry bar. You see it, sweetheart? If you see it, holler it to me, will you? I'm just going to get a heavy screwdriver, I guess. Heaviest one I got. Let's try this. Hopefully I can squish it in there. I'm just trying to pick up the mount a little bit. Shove that in there. Might be too big. Yeah, we're too big by quite a bit, I guess. I need a pry bar, sweetheart. I'm going to cut a little bit off it, just a little bit. I got another little tool over here, might pick it up. Hammer, pick it up maybe. Aye. Oh. Could have it smaller. Could have it smaller. Not liking that. I don't know if. Gotta make a smaller one. And this is where you gotta be careful when that stuff gets small. It can really. And you can also waste it. Not waste it, but we'll use it somewhere else. Just hard to cut when, there we go. There we go. I got that one cut just right. That now, would you? I might throw a washer on that. See if I can tighten it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. We had some washers outdoors for playing washer. I wonder if that'll work. That'll give me a little bit. I just want to make it so it's a little bit more tight, that's all. All right, that works. Here we go. There's one. Let's get another one in. That one looks shyer than that one. Go get a base piece of boat roller down here. When the boat roller gets too small, it's hard to hang on to. I didn't like hanging on to it there, like doing that, but you know what? I'm a guy that really don't want to waste anything. And also, if I needed it and I wanted to cut it, I just cut it with a zip cut. What happens is you put it in the grinder, or the vise, hold it, and then zip cut it off. But it just makes a lot of smoke, so I generally try to leave the bits in small pieces for that, or I'll use it up in some other application, that's for sure, as I cut things too long. Gotta mark this one. Beautiful. Just wanted to fit tight, that's all. Just wanted to fit tight. Here, get the bad boys out here. Here we go. Now we're talking. There we go. I just want to check and see what that has done to our door gap. Remember, the roof is still on. I can't pull it apart. But if that comes up a little bit, that can pull this apart a little bit. We're at where we're at. And that's it. That's good. So I have to make my mind up what I'm going to do there. I have to make my mind up. I'm going to leave it for a minute because I can put a bolt down through. That's what I can do. I can put a bolt down through. And weld the top on, or put a bolt down through, weld the top there, and then he could nut it up from the bottom. We can do that. Yes, we can. Or we can put a hole in the floor, and then so you can get at the top and the bottom. Once I do that, weld that in there and put a floor over top of it, it's gone. It's gone, you know. Not sure if I want to do that yet. We'll see. Body mounts are in. Let's do 2 cross members for the seat and make the seat bracket. That's what we're going to do now. Square tubing. In the way. The boat roller, the mounts went nice. I made a little gracious call on the first one, but that's how it goes. We get some square tubing and go across for the seat. Basically, all I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that in there like that. Just run it across. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run it across with theirs. And I think I'm going to go with this one. Just trying to run it straight across, and then I'll do the exact same thing when I cut that one off. There's our mark. Need that right now. Got our 2 mounts cut. That's good. I'll plug that in. Put this back in my pocket. It's Sunday. It's a day to get out in the old shop and do a little bit on your old ride. That's what the day is. That's what today's for. There's still lots of day to have pleasure. But when you get a little bit done on your old hot rod on a Saturday or a Sunday, it's nice. But it really is. Take a little bit of time. Make yourself happy. See, this is how I know I'm aware that doing this sort of stuff makes me happy. And that's why I gravitated towards it. And I also needed a job, which could allow myself to eat. I need the job. here to there. Good. I think I'll turn the welder on. And I am just eyeing that up. I don't think that matters one iota, whether, I don't think it matters as long as it's in place where I grab the seat. Jim has told me where the seat is, so I'm just going with what he has said, and we'll go from there. I need to bump. You have a cord? Oh, you have the cord over there, do you not? There's a cord right here. I want to plug that welder in. No, that's not the cord I want. That's not the cord I want. That's a shame that I have to do that. Maybe we'll see what happens. This will work. Sunday fun day. Jolene looks amazing today, as always. As always, she's the apple of my eye. She's the apple of my eye. Baby. She's the apple of my eye. Inside sill, lots long. I think, yeah, Jim got motivated and thinking that he might even put a little work in on this bad boy once he gets her back, you know. He can do a few things with it. I'm just eyeing it up across there. I'm not trying to, not measuring anything, nothing, just putting it in. I might measure the other side. Who knows? We'll tack it for now. Tack it for now. Let's cut another one. Let's cut another one. Now this one, you see, Jim is telling me that this bolt right here and that one right there would have been where the seat was bolted on. So now, what I've done, I put a cross member across here because I'm going to connect some plate here and into this one. But as that bolt shows me, I can't go by the inside. That one, I have to go by the outer side of that one. Can't get at that to shove that tubing in there. So I'll measure it, I guess. So I'm going by the inside one. Like, I can go either side of this. Either side of this, I can make, you know, I'm going with this one here, so I can weld this piece together here. If I go here, and then what just means I have to use a longer piece on the center, and I just figuring I'll do. And this one I have to use the outside of this rib because the bolt hole goes back past this line. So I'm going to go with that one. Straight across. We're at 23, and I'm going to cut a 23. Yeah, if you're not aware of things that happen, like not aware of your emotions and your feelings and what things happen, what you like and what you don't like, if you're not aware, you're really missing out on who you are. You're missing out on who you are. I tell my daughter, try to be aware at all times, what you like, what you don't like, what you see, how people act. Be aware of everything, or try to be. All my decision making, I use my awareness to do my decision making. Everything I like or dislike or don't like, I let that guide me where I'm going. And I'm aware of I'm aware. And I want my daughter to be aware. Because if you're not aware of most things, how would you make a good decision if you're not aware? If you're not aware. And being aware is just having a little common sense of what's going on. That's being aware. Nope, haven't got my helmet. Wasn't aware, was I? I was talking. I was talking. I'm going to get my helmet for that. This is Sunday sermon. Huh? Sunday sermon. Just be aware of things. If you're not aware, you can get fooled pretty quick. All right, I got this cross member in here. I don't know. Looks okay. Looks okay. And that's the basics of it. Looks okay. I'm going to see how close I am for shits and giggles. How close I am. 17 1/4, 17 1/4, 17 1/4, 17 1/4. 17 1/8, 17 1/8, 17 1/8. I'm off by a little tiny bit. Good. Sunny morning. Also, you know, I'm doing this for Jim because Jim is a nice, you know, he's a cool dude. He's done lots for us, helped us out, you know, when we needed it in certain times. He's been there. I don't like or appreciate when someone throws out a bad comment. You know, when I bring someone here and show you what I'm doing, yeah, you can knock me down, go for it. I'm the kind of guy that knows better, and I just don't feel like someone should come here and be knocked down and torn up because someone else feels like it. You have to stop and ask yourself, would you want your son being talked to like that? Would you want someone to talk about your son like that? Would you want to teach your son to talk to another kid like that? It starts with the person that's, you know, doing it. Being aware of, you have to be aware, like you really have to be aware of doing that, like ripping someone down, because when your son comes home from school or your daughter comes home from school, someone has said something to them or teasing them or being rude to them or bullying them, they're doing the exact same thing that the person making the bad comment are doing. It's being taught. So please, like, try to refrain from showing your true colors. Just hold back. It's not worth it. You know, I always say, what you post on the internet, it reflects who you are. It reflects who you are. And try not to throw out bad comments. It's not necessary. And you have to think about, when you're teaching, would you teach your kids to go to school and bully somebody? Really? The people that bully people on the internet, would you teach your kids to go to school and bully people? You have to be aware of that sort of stuff. Be aware. And the people, when you're writing on a keyboard, it should give you more time to be in that gear to know to be aware. Please don't do that. I do not mind coming on the old internet every day and doing body work or fixing something or painting something. You know why? Because I am aware how it's done, and I know how it's done. I just know how it's done. I've been doing it. And for someone to try to rip me down, it makes me laugh, because I know that I've built more cars in my sleep, if you know what I'm trying to say. Carry on, she says. Huh? Carry on. Let's get this done. Alrighty. What's that, sweetheart? We're at 35. Thanks, sweetheart. But it's a great Sunday, that's for sure. It's a great Sunday. Ouch, hot. That would be the moment that I would laugh. Okie dokie. One's welded in, that one's welded in, that one's welded in. That's fine. Cool. Now what we're going to do is, if I've rambled too much on the old Sunday sermon, I apologize. It's just sometimes, you know, certain things hit the old chord. Come in here like that. Yeah, gotta measure it. I'm that guy that would rather trace it than measure it, you know. 17 1/8. Did I unplug that one? Oh, good. Here we go. Now what I have to do is, this is a bench seat in this car. So what would happen is, you're thinking about, I was thinking about weight too when I doubled it up here for the Crossmembers. On this here, the seat is not going to sit on this. It's just going to be the floor underneath the seat. The seat will have a brake come down here and be bolted on and go all the way over top of that and be bolted on there. So the seat is actually going to take the weight in the center, and this is where the pressure is going to be applied. So we're out here on the edge like that. I'm fine with that. I'm going to have to come to that side to see how far it bolts out, and then I'll just plunk this in place so he can drill some holes and bolt her down. Coming over. Coming over. Baby got some holy pants on. Holy. Them are nice. You see that, did you? That's why my beak's poked up. Just want to put there. Don't want to move your light. I see the bolts of that are just right on the outside edge of the frame. So I'm going to put that basically in the same position, so Jim will have a place to bolt his seat down. And that'll be the end of it. It's funny, we got here, and now we got talking about putting sills on her. So we'll be putting sills on her after we get the floor done. So there you go. I'm going to put it out here just beyond the floor, a frame a little bit, and that'll give him ample room to get her done. Not bad. The reason I say not bad, it's not actually flush, but doesn't matter. Turn up on that side. Yeah, it's good. So this is where the seat's going to come across, bolt down here. We're connected right tight here. There shouldn't be a lot of bounce there, shouldn't be. Alrighty, just run a little fast. When it starts sputtering, it's because I'm going fast. So we've got cross member, mount, cross member, mount, cross member, mount for the seat. Basically, it's over for the seat, for the floor pan itself. The sill is not done, but now we're just going to cover in the floor. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that too, just as easy as I always do. Do it the easy way. I do not like taking a tape measure. I do not like taking a tape measure and trying to measure that out when it's not square. I don't like doing it like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be smart about it, and I'm going to use the cardboard, the Bristol board that Buddy bought me, and that's been a great thing, man. Since you bought that, it's been great. And I am going to put it on there and trace all my lines on it, and then I can actually look at what I done. See what I did? Ah! Can that go underneath there? See what I did? Did you know I was doing that when I did it? Ah. Jim would say, where I should have left it like that. What I did is I welded myself in jail. That's basically what I did with that. That's too bad. Oh well. Wasn't paying attention, was I? Wasn't paying attention. Damn it. Damn it. I wonder if Jim was talking when he said do not work on the car if you're not having fun. I'm done. I'm just joking. There we go. Now we're back in order. And what I use, the zip cut, as I use that, now there's gap in there, now there's penetration. That's what I'm going to tell myself. Why not? Just put it back in place. Oh well. That's what happens sometimes, folks. That's what happens sometimes. They'll have to call me later, you know what I'm saying. Right, baby? Knock that off a little bit. Look at a little weld on there. Alrighty, let's take the... Put it up there somehow. Take this out. Now we're going to the cardboard. Now we got that figured out. Let's get some cardboard rolling. This big helmet off my head. Okie dokie. Hopefully all we're going to need is some Bristol board. Basically, Jolene tries to tell me when we're 45 minutes, 35 minutes in, just so I know to hurry up and get on with it, or, you know, we're coming to a close because we only got an hour. Generally an hour's good. Any more than that, Jolene has a hard time loading it and posting it for YouTube. And we would never want to miss Sunday morning service, would we? Yeah. I talk a lot for myself just to keep myself, you know. You can see how as I lay that on there, can you see how, look, I tried to lay that on square up front there, and see we're not hitting there, it's not square there. So sometimes it's hard to take a measuring tape and get in there. It's hard to get a measuring tape and get in there and do that. So I've got to choose one line to go with. I'm gonna choose this line. What the hey? I'll choose one line. I don't know if I want to make it out of one panel or make it out of two panels. I think it would be hard to put any kind of bead in it with having one panel. It would be hard to put something in it. Like, it really has to be like a small panel. We did a panel here, and then if we did I don't know if we did an under seat pan, and then we did this pan. We'll make up our mind here in a minute. Tape. I'm going to tape that there. I'm going to put this on there. I'm going to make the full pan, and then I'll decide if I want to cut it after. Basically what I'm doing is I'm putting the pan on this side where it's going to be. I'm running halfway on the floor here. Just want to run it halfway. It's not fitting up front, so I'm going to get myself a straight edge. And the straight edge is on 4 corners of this Bristol board. It's on 4 corners. So I'm going to take a little bit off of this straight edge. Doesn't matter if my straight edge is good or not. Just matters if theirs is. And I'm just going to take that on, cut off a little shorter. That's how I always do it. Just make little pieces. And not long enough. What did I do? Cut too short. I want to cut this off over here. It's not fitting right. Now I'm just going to tape that on. Just trying to give myself the best pattern I can. Want that one. Ooh, scissors. Got another straight edge going here. I'm going to take it, run it up the side here. And just taking patterns, man, and a piece of paper and making a pattern that I think that when I transfer it to a piece of metal, it's going to fit in the hole. That's all I'm doing. Looks good. A piece of tape there. Hold that together a little better. piece of Bristol board. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that go right across there like that. Does not go straight with that. That's okay. I think we're going to leave it as a one-piece floor for right now. That moved. Stop it, Chad. I'm going to tape that down so it don't take off anywheres. Another piece of Bristol board. Actually, make this back piece not big enough. Going quick as I can, sweetheart. We're giving out a hat and a shirt today, just because you had to sit through that. Oh, there's some Bristol board right there. I want to get a straight line. This one here don't look too bad. I'm going to try to straighten that out. And I'll just tape it all together. And the reason being is because I can pull it apart after I, use the cardboard again. I'm not going to throw all that Bristol board away. I'll just put some tape on it, and I'll pull it apart when I need it. My arms aren't long enough. Still cruising. Cut a little bit of this, a little of that. Now it fits nice in there. I put that right along there like that. Draw a little that off. Yeah. Lays up nice against that. Also, I'm going to remind myself that this part's going to need an inch bent up, and we'll tack it along here and make it look a little nicer. Got another piece for that side. Scissors. I'll tape that on, getting ahead of myself here, rocking all over the place. So, come on now. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. So when I go to make the floor pan, I'm going to have to be aware that I'm going to need 3/4 of an inch on this end to bend up, because I'm not going to make it as a pattern. I'm not going to make it as a pattern. I need a little bit here and that wide. Loretta Lynn sang The Coat of Many Colors, wasn't it? Loretta Lynn. I'm making a floor of many colors. Take this, cut that off. And all I'm doing is I put that up against there. I'm, I'm that far away. I'm just making a drawing, so I'm trying to scribe it in there. Just guessing, like I always do. Cut that off there like that. Do 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 do. Line that up with the straightness of the floor. I hope that you feel like I'm showing you the easiest way possible. I hope I am showing you the easiest way possible. But if I am not, there is more than one way to skin a cat. I do not know everything. I do not, and I will preach that until the end of time. But as I'm doing this, I'm hoping that I'm trying to show you the quickest way possible. I just have a hard time with the measuring tape sometimes, like I said, measuring a piece that's not really that square. So basically right there you see we have the floor pan, and that's what it's going to look like. Jim will be brought up no higher in the seat than he was before, and that's what he was sort of worried about, me bringing him up high in the seat to replace the floor. I don't think we're going to have that to worry about. More or less, I'm just going to pull this out. We'll transfer this piece of paper to a piece of metal. We can put, I'm thinking that we might put a few just ovals in it. I'm not going to go extra special, I don't think, with maybe a couple of these. And basically, that might be it. Nothing necessary underneath the seat. Maybe a spot here where your feet is, make it nice and tight. Maybe a spot back here where your back feet go in the back seat, maybe to make it nice and tight. And that would be about it. 1, 2, 3 ovals. Set a flat sheet in. We will drill a few holes. We'll just go underneath and trace it with the marker where the cross members are. Don't look forward to doing that. Get all dirty, get dust, there's shit fall in your eyes. But anyways, we'll just go underneath and mark that. And that's basically how I would do the floor. I'd pull that out. I know that if I keep on the line of the cardboard, I know that my floor will fit, and it'll fit right. I know that I have to add 3/4. Add 3/4 to this edge. Flip it up on the break. Shouldn't be a hard thing to do. And then basically that would be it. I got a couple more spots I want to put on. And then something like this. If you see this stuff here, this is seam sealer. Grind all the heads off the welds, and if you seam sealed it like that, you would probably never know the car was even fixed. You would probably never, like if you looked in it the first time and you did not know what it was supposed to look like, you probably would not know. Spray that on there so you couldn't tell. And basically that's what I would do, but we're doing Jim's car. So right now we're going to leave the floor like that. Tomorrow we're going to go to the other side, cut that all out, and repair that. Start doing the exact same thing we have done here. When we make the panels for the floor, we might call Jim back over and get him to do the wheeling or the dealing or whatever. We'll get him to help us because Jolene's hard to run the camera and do that at the same time. Let's give away a hat or a shirt. Let's do it. It's Sunday Fun Day. Yes, we are. Here we go, people. How many comments we got? we go. Here we go. How many comments we got? Whoop, whoop. 445. 445 comments. Thank you very much. Good and bad does not matter, but I appreciate if you give all your negativity to me instead of other people, because on this YouTube station anyways, I'd rather have the negativity towards me than somebody I bring in, because I know the difference, and I just would not like for someone else to tear someone down that comes here. Please do not do that. Hey Chad, I love your work. I literally do things exactly the way you do. I like you already. And have for 23 years now. I've watched every day faithfully. You said subscriptions were slowing down, so I posted on my Facebook and got at least 4 people to subscribe today. Thank you very much, Chris Hayer. You're getting a hat or a shirt of your will, whatever you want. And we appreciate that. And I'm happy that you feel, you must feel okay with what you do in your shop, because if you're doing it my way, I'm obviously showing everybody. And it's for everybody to know how it's done. I mean, yes, you can take longer. Yes, you can do it a different way. Yes, you can so on and so forth. But basically, I am showing the will and the want and the inspiration to get it done. That's what I'm showing. I'm out here every day playing with it. And for the people that say I never finish anything, Jolene will post some pictures on you. She'll show you some cars. We'll show you some cars. And basically, that's not where it's at right now. We are working for YouTube to show you how we build cars. That's basically what we're doing. And that's what we're going to continue to do. All your bad comments can come towards me. Please leave other people alone. I don't bring them here to have someone tear them down. And if you think it's okay, you have to ask yourself, would you want your son or your daughter coming home and saying that someone is tearing them down? I guarantee you'll have the answer that I think you'll have. Have a good day, everybody.